Welcome back to another one, you guys. This one's actually going to be Xplicit against Full House Gaming. It's the Hackney Yard Domination from Heat 2 or 3. I can't remember exactly which heat it was, but it was the match that they played the Brazilian team Full House. They do go on, as we've said before, to win this series 3-0, but a very difficult map to play right here, one that's going to be fun to review, and definitely one that we'll be able to get through really quickly and continue on through our full coverage of the Western Championship. And I also plan on doing the Eastern Championship. I also plan, as well, in addition to that, covering some maps in some other tournaments and things that I think are actually quite interesting. So without further ado, this one's going to be Xplicit versus Full House Gaming. Once again, the domination on Hackney. And real quick, right before we get into the actual part of the video that you guys are here for, just real quick talking about the state of the tournament. Full House Gaming goes down to 0-2 or 0-3 if they lose this map. So at this point, Xplicit does go on to win, but this is kind of like that do or die situation for Full House, where if they lose this map, their tournament's pretty much done, and at that point, they have nothing to do but play spoiler. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll hop into this one. All right, so here now we are in the recording portion of the spot. We're gonna have the DOM map. Just kind of look real quick, see where we are, because this one, if we just rewind it just a little bit, did start just a little bit late. Get to see the flags are already capped, so we're about on the second wave of lives. We've got on the left side a Full House game. No, actually, I'm sorry. We've got on the left side, it's kind of odd that it's like this, but Xplicit on red, green over here with the A cap, and then we have Full House over here on the right side with the C flag. So let's not get confused that way. Xplicit has control of the A flag. That's the strongest flag on this map by far. This map is super snowbally, super difficult for a C to kind of get back into positions not played, like on console, where you see these flags kind of constantly shifting and a lot of triple capping and all of these things. Not the case. COD Mobile, definitely a very different way of the game being played. Map feels a lot more narrow than it probably actually is, given the sliding mechanics and the different stuff in this game. So we'll be able to kind of get to look at it. So what are your goals if you are Xplicit, starting on the good side, and what are your goals if you're on the bad side? So we'll just run through Xplicit first. A flag, like we said, strongest flag by far on this map. Very difficult for C to flip. You get this spawn point right here, and you kind of get a lower abandoned type spawn on the bottom left here. But for the most part, it's going to be this green spawn, or not green, this like crate. I call it a summit spawn. And this spawn reinforces B very well. Gets access to this top position where Lucifer is in right now on the top of the ladder, and it also watches the cross quite nicely from green. So really strong position for Xplicit just out the gate. And then the C flag, you kind of don't really have too much in the way of anything going for you. You spawn down here, but you've got to track all the way across the map. And once you get to this point, if you are C and you're crossing here, open field, this position where Lucifer is currently right now, quite comfortably looks over that cross, and it's not easy to do. The mid is obviously very difficult to navigate through, and then B, once the A flag is captured by the team with the A flag, or rather once the B flag is captured by the team with the A flag, it becomes a fortress and it's very difficult to get out. Not to mention that this spawn here is also quite open and accessible from this window. You kind of look into this field very easily, and you're not really having a good time at all if you're C. So, rule of thumb, if you're the C flag, is to be okay with losing the round, because you will. Or rather, in most cases, you will lose the round. What is the absolute worst score that you can get if you are the C flag? I think the worst that I've ever seen anybody beat somebody on this map without a triple cap is like somewhere between 25 and 40 some points. So that the bad team, or rather the bad side, gets. So you'll get like 40, and that's the minimum if you're just holding a one cap the entire time. A lot of teams, they won't start with the home flag. Some teams will just decide that they want to send and over again try to flip the flag immediately, and then if that doesn't work, then they'll finally start the flag and they won't be progressing points. You see that, you saw that a lot in the Japanese stage 4. You saw it a little bit in the Eastern stage 5, and to this day, some North American teams still do that. So for me, if I'm on the bad side and I get anything more than 40 points, or even just 40 points, that's a good bad side. Because generally speaking, it's going to be about 75 to 40 at the end of the half, if the good side, A side, is played really well. So take your punches, because you're going to get a turn to do it in the second half. And quite honestly, you'd like to start on the bad side and be able to rally through on the good side in the second half of the game. So there's strengths to kind of both positions. Uh, it just kind of depends on if you want to start the game hot and maybe carry momentum, or if you want to just eat the punch in the beginning of the game and get it back. So Xplicit, really nice progress on the flag. They'll manage to capture it. And you'll notice that 2 players from Full House are dead, but we have top L control, and we only have 1 player for Xplicit that's dead. So given the state of the map, knowing that these 2 spawns on the, you've got this low here and you've got this spot right here, those are the primary spawns for the A flag, and that it's same exact thing for the other side. You've got this kind of lower spawn and this top right spawn. It's a box, so you can pretty much predict this pretty nicely. So if I'm just guessing, and I haven't watched this game through yet, I would say that Xplicit, this player is probably going to spawn in this corner right here. I'd say that these 2, because we're kind of pushing a little bit further into this kind of primary spawn right here, and he is maybe watching over this alley, these 2 players should spawn on the lower part of C, and we can kind of go from there. So we get a little bit of a split spawn, but the idea kind of works. You get this guy in the top L where Solar is right now, and being up here with the B cap kind of pushes players to spawn away. We get these nice 2 comfortable summit spawns right here, immediately on top of the flag, and now not really too much to talk about. It just becomes die, spawn, reinforce B. Every so often, watch out for somebody on the bottom, like here, green. This guy down here, 3, going through the green, and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. If you're Full House, you've just gotta make a team push and hope you win some of these gunfights, get into the B site. Again, a lot of people dead. Solar and I don't know who. Snipes and Solar, it looks like. They should spawn right here again. Fairly safe on the summit spawn. Nobody in the top L position now, so you see this field spawn start to happen. We kind of just let the game play out here. Rinse and repeat. So hard getting into the B site. It's more easily accessible from A, and it's the fortress. A lot of head glitches, a lot of corners to check. You see Solar in the middle, pushing this through. The kind of rinse and repeat happens here. We really just want to get a couple kills here. Patience is a virtue. We get a couple kills and we hop onto the B flag. Anything that we get progress-wise on the B flag is really, really good. Trixon gets the flag half-capped. That's wonderful. And this is the life of being on the C side. Just try your best to get a nice wave down and get some flag progress. If you do manage, so look at the bottom right here. The best way I think to play this is to just continue to, make pushes into this B area, and maybe a little like a person through mid, and every life get 1 person kind of try to sneak on through. Because ultimately, your goal if you're on this C side is to flip it to A. If you do that early on the C side and you just flip the A flag immediately, you're in for a really, really successful game. So we got about 2 minutes left. So I'm not sure if everybody knows the math, but if you just have 1 flag, every minute you'll take 12 points. If you have 2 flags, every minute you'll take 24 points. So at this point, They're on pace for like 50. No. Yeah, they're on pace for like around 50, and the game is about to kind of end here in 10 points. So by the time this is done, these guys will reach 15 earlier than these guys. It'll be around the 45 mark, I would guess, and that's a good bad half, to be honest. Xplicit did a really good job of just playing these head glitch positions in the VSAT. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to push through. You don't have to do any of that craziness. Like this, don't have to do that. And there it goes. So just like we said, 40, 75. And Xplicit, that's the absolute worst that you can do if you're just one flag the entire time. Now, this scoreline feels a lot more oppressive than it actually is. This is only 35 points. This is a very close game. But because this map is so snowbally, because it's so hard to get into this site, this feels a lot worse. Quite honestly, if you're 40 to 75 on the bad side, and you know, you're going into your good side now, you should be saying good shit, like good, alright, great, we didn't lose the game. Not yet. Now you just go and you do it again. You can easily close this gap. So now, for Xplicit, a great first wave is super valuable right here. Lucifer's quite patient. I don't even think he got involved in any of the kills here. Xplicit kind of challenged really early and got wiped here. You see some teams actually, they'll come into this bomb site, kind of where the bomb would be, but the B building, and you got to keep in mind that the other side, so the other spawn, they spawn here. It's a lot closer. So if you're Xplicit, I'd like to see a lot more teams kind of get in here and just hold these positions. You know, up on this, try to maybe get up here and hold your little top here and watch this this window right here from that top spot that we just highlighted, and let them come to you. Let them come across to you and get those kills. Patience goes a long way here, because you're not going to win the war of attrition with these guys. They spawn feet away from the hill, they get right to it, and you spawn a lot further. If we cut the map right in half, it just so happens that the B flag's just a little bit closer to the A flag spawn than it is to C. Let's actually time it from 3. 3 just spawned and we're at 447. Let's look at the time, how long it would take from 447 for him to kind of get back into the B flag. So he was kind of slow, and that was about 7 seconds. He's kind of entering, but he was very slow. So 5 seconds, 5-6 seconds. You spawn here, you kill him, he's back in the mix 5 seconds later. Now let's look at our guys that spawn and die. And it also depends on where you spawn, right? Because if you spawn on the lower here, you're fucked. But if you spawn right here, 3 seconds, or rather, if you're 3 and you spawn here, let's look 447, the same exact thing. 7 seconds has already passed, and you're just getting into the top. These guys are already in the site. So spawning C it's a lot harder. Timing doesn't work in your favor. For this spawn, it's also a lot more open. If you spawn further down, a lot more time to travel. So getting kills on the A side, you know, every kill that you get is worth a lot more than every kill that Xplicit gets. That's why when you're Xplicit on this bad side, or any team on the C side, and you get kills, you need to try to get something out of those kills. Try to get a little bit of that flag progress. Try to get a little map control. Because it's hard to come by. The more time you waste not capping or getting progress, you're going to have a bad time. Really nice pre-fire from Fachin. And he's immediately going to hop the flag. Now at this point, you've got a clean wipe down for full house. You need to just let this flag get capped and start to worry about the people who are going to potentially flip your spawn. 5 right here, solar. This is actually kind of odd, right? So solar Solar should recognize that his entire team got wiped, and he should just, if you manage to get through here into this little area right here, this core area, this open spot right here by the forklift, try your best if you can not to waste too much time staring at this for kills. Because any kill that you're gonna get if you're solar here on the bottom left, I hate this bars here, but on the bottom, any kill that you get right here in the middle part of the map, since you're on the bottom, we have to ask ourselves again, where are the spawns? It's this spawn and this spawn. So if I'm running through green and I'm running over here while I'm blocking this primary spawn, the only place that they can spawn is right here. So if I am at this point on the map and I got through to the forklift, if I waste a lot of time and I kill people mid, I'm doing it for nothing because I'm trying to flip the A flag. I'm trying to do this. But if I get kills in the middle part of the map, if I'm wasting time looking for these guys, they're just gonna spawn right here. So I'm gonna have to kill them twice. Why kill them twice if I can just try to get through the base? I'm gonna have to deal with these guys anyway. So why not deal with them one time? Much higher value kills on this site, as opposed to me try to get this kill here and then do it again to try to get the kill again, and then it can spawn there again. It's a lot more for you to do. And the war of attrition again. For every single kill that Xplicit gets, they spawn just outside of the site. You really gotta just set up team pushes through B and get that guy leaking out the back. And if you're full house, you have to ask yourself, well, how are they gonna break it? Exactly how I explained it. So we need to again meet them on B, because for every life that they get, we get like 2 or 3, and then just keep track of that that backstab through green. And I think that this map, domination in general as a mode, is very old, very outdated, very cheesy. I'd love to see a third respawn or a second respawn mode instead of domination. Not all of the maps kind of play well for it, especially not 5v5. You know, control would be great if it you know gets developed properly. Capture the flag would be wonderful if it's developed properly. So look at this, right? Let's talk about this. So Xplicit's done enough to get these kills. Actually, we'll rewind quite a bit because we missed a little bit there. So full house progress on B. It looks like full house is strong, but this is all that Xplicit has to really do. Make a play right here. Get a kill. Just make a play. Turn those kills into flag progress, just like we talked about. Great. Now we've got the B cap. They've got to come to us. They've got to come to us because Xplicit's winning the game at this point. There's no super urgency to flip the flag right now. They still have to deal with this next wave. The patience here, just like Veteran is kind of exhibiting. Kills right here. And again, none of these bottom spawns on the left are blocked yet. So we need, if we're Xplicit, another wave. But we need another wave with our guys progressed on the map. We need our guys to be pushed up on the map. They need to not die. We got to get this wave down. And if we're fast enough, where we get this wave down, clean with enough teammates, we can push through and block this spawn, and they'll spawn right across from us on the green area. Well, two possible spawns right here, but like green. It would be basically the simple majority rule from our firing range, where we'd be cutting the map like this. We'd get this clean wave down, we'd have a lot of people on the map, majority on the top side, and if we block this primary spawn here, we'd be pushing the spawn on the low side. So 3 dead. If you're Xplicit, now you've got a gang of people here, all 5 of your teammates in the B site. You've got 3 dead. You've got to be really aggressive here, win these next gunfights, and now it's clean. We've pushed them out of their spawn. This has to be flip immediately. You ran through this this crate spawn right here. So if I'm Xplicit and I ran through that spawn, nobody spawned there, and it's CB for me, then I need to know that they're spawning across from us, that it's green. Snipes is able to confirm that, and we just flip the flag. If anybody ever on the other team, say you're explicit here, if they start capping C, fuck it, give it to them. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit about the C flag. C's trash. If they start going to B, well, let's say they, for whatever reason, they go green and they just run at B and they start capping it. That's fine too. Just get the A flag, you'll get B back. Eventually, you'll get B back. So love that Solo's here defending the B flag. He's got a shotgun too, making a hell of a play right there. Pred's gonna come out. Really nice. And triple cap for Xplicit. That's really fucking hard to do. And now we've got a full triple cap. I don't give a single shit about C. If we can hold it, wonderful. But now Full House is in the position, oh my god, you're on the good side. You're down the triple cap. If they go to C, then they will dig their own grave very deep. They're going to be fighting now from the worst possible 2-cap position, and it's not going to be fucking fun. So Full House has to go A. They have to. If they go C, fine. Xplicit can just set up power spots on A and B and be fine. But they have to go A. So now we just prepare ourselves on the A side to win some of these gunfights. Now, where are we going to spawn? Well, again, FHG, fresh from these green spawns, even though we have control of the A flag, it's possible that because they're already on pace to go to A, that we could end up getting some kind of split spawn area. But we also have one on the bottom right here who's stupidly, quite honestly, potentially in a spot where he may block the 2 C spawns. If you're Full House, you want them spawning over here. You don't want them spawning right here. So one, Trixon is actually he's actually pretty poorly positioned. Even though Full House just killed 3 players for Xplicit, they are currently not blocking the top left primary spawn, and it's possible that we could get some of our players to spawn there. They get up there just in time to block it, so they made enough progress right before these guys spawned, able to block the primary spawn, and now the split is in full effect. Full House will get back the A flag, and now at this point, if you're Xplicit, you're quite happy to just play for a 2-cap or play for even a 1-cap. You win off 1 at the stage. With 153 left to go, remember that 1 flag every minute will only get you 12 points. 2 flags every minute will get you 24 points. So Xplicit wins the game. And at that point, it's done. But where's really the decisive kind of blow? It happens back here on the bad side for Xplicit. And you've got to try to recognize these positions, because sometimes you'll get them. The really devastating blow here happens right here in this sequence of kills. You've got 244. It's okay if you're the A team, if you're Full House and you're down the 2-cap here, 244, because once you just get your B flag back, you win the game. It's fine. You can hold it. The position is superior in every way, and you're good. So this wave really matters. It also really matters for Xplicit too, because once they clean this out, if they're quick enough and they recognize it, they can block this spawn and put this game out of reach. They put it on its head. Remember, the ultimate goal when you're the C flag spawning team is you want to flip the flag, you want to flip the A flag, and you want to block this spawn from happening. Because this spawn right here, where Solar is right now in the top left, is the spawn that makes the A flag so special. Remember that if you block this spawn and you're CB, it's a push. I'm blocking primary, I'm pushing them. The push happens green, or rather the push results in the green spawn. And then once you're in a triple cap like this with any kind of lead, the game's over. Hackney is won. So really great map out of Xplicit, really great job recognizing some of the positions that they were in. And for Full House, it looked like patience got the best of them. They were a little worried that they were on the back foot there and weren't patient. So GG's to Xplicit, a great map out of them, and they would go on again to win this series 3-0. The Brazilians would fall to another loss, and that would pretty much eliminate Full House Gaming from the tournament. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna upload this one as well as the Meeseeks map. I just saw a really good one between the Goofy Goobers and the Seminole team, and that'll be that. So thank you guys.